Hello, welcome to the Flute 360 podcast, where we incorporate a panoramic view of flute-related topics. I am your host, Heidi K. Begay, and this is episode 135. Are diamonds really a girl's best friend? Hey guys, it's Heidi. Welcome back to another Flute 360 podcast episode. If you are new to the show, welcome, and I'm so glad that you have joined us. So I'm going to get real with y'all. I wrote out word for word episode 135's notes. I recorded it. I sent it to Eric. He even took the time to edit it, and he sent it back pretty quick and said, nope, do it again. I was like, what? It wasn't good? Because I knew I spent some time on it and I never put out, something that I'm not proud of. He goes, yeah, that's the problem. It was too good. It was too scripted. It was too thought out. I want you to get messy. I want you to completely improv. I want you to be authentic to your listeners. And I want you to just be Heidi. You love to talk. Just share. You do not need to read off the page. And, man, that was rough to hear. But I took a breath. I took a step back and said, okay, here I go. And the funny thing is, I just helped some podcasters put together some of their first episodes. And I said the same thing to them recently. This was like a recent conversation I had with other podcasters. And man, taking that spoonful of medicine for myself, man, it was quite a pill to swallow. And I took a step back and I asked myself, why is this kind of hard for me to grapple with? And I realized that I feel secure and safe off of a page, reading those words, seeing the black and white, right? But when you're asked to talk, ad lib and improv, and to really just be authentic in yourself, that takes some vulnerability, and exposing a side of you that maybe is a little harder to go there. But the funny thing is, the reason why he wanted me to do this was because my content today is telling you, the listener, that going forward from episode 135 onward, my goal and mission is to, yes, keep delivering valuable gold nuggets week to week, like I have been for the last 2 years, but I want to be more authentic. And he goes, Heidi, how can you be more authentic if you're reading off the page? So I know he's right, but I hate it when he's right. So this is just me. This is just Heidi talking to my flute friend, my colleague, and hopefully my thoughts are nice and clear for y'all to follow along and enjoy this episode. So a couple things I want to put out there first, some house cleaning. Please follow me on social media and subscribe to the podcast through your favorite podcast app. So whether it's Apple Podcast, Spotify, Stitcher Radio, iHeartRadio, a new podcast app just came out, and it's Amazon Music. So that's a big one. If you can subscribe, rate, and review, I would so appreciate it. The second thing I want you to know is I have a newsletter. I put out the newsletter once a week, and it's basically a slew of different topics. Sometimes I'm inspired by an entrepreneurial idea. Sometimes I want to give you a podcast update. And other times I want to give you a book recommendation. So go to my website at heidikbegay.com. A pop-up will appear and you can type in your information for that weekly newsletter. Speaking of books, I just started a Flute 360 book club. We have a page. It's a private group in Facebook, and I have already added about 8 participants. So what's really neat is these 8 participants are flute friends and people that I met through the podcast. What's even better is that they come from all different walks of life and different corners of the globe. So we have friends from Finland, London, India, Texas, Michigan, and the like. So what's really neat is we get to see the flute community come together, whether it's a podcast or a book club, but how we come together and form a little family. And I love that. The next thing I want to let you guys know is my big secret, and I kind of already revealed it. These last 2 years have been amazing. Episodes 1 through 134, I've learned so much. And I know I've hopefully delivered valuable content that can really launch, your thought process and your flute career in the right direction. But what 2020 has taught me is that my resources are completely precious, especially time. You know the old saying, diamonds are a girl's best friend? Well, I think they got that wrong. I think time is the best, most precious commodity. So with that nugget, I have encouraged myself to ask, why are you doing X task? And for me, that really helps align everything towards my mission statement for my life and my career. If it does not align with that mission statement, I am starting to get into the habit of just tossing it. Okay? So it's not to say that I'm tossing 360. That's not it at all. If anything, I want to dive in deeper with y'all. I want to be more authentic. I want to really hone in on your pain points. I want to hear what your troubles are, what you're struggling with, because together we can move mountains. And I really want to deliver content that speaks to the heart and moves the needle forward. If you feel like you're not moving forward in your career, in your studies as a student, or whatever the case may be, then let's change it. Let's find solutions to your pain points. Okay. So moving forward with Series 29 starting next week, I want to hear from you. Email me, message me, call me. I don't care. Part of my mission statement is to serve people. Truly and honestly, I feel the most fulfilled when I serve people. I love being a mentor, an educator, a flutist, and a friend. So if I can walk alongside you, right, and learn with you, grow with you on your flute journey, your professional and or personal journey, I would be on cloud 9. Seriously. So I want to be used to my full potential. I want to use my talents, my knowledge, my expertise to really help you along your career path. So help me help you. If there is something that you need from me, ask. Seriously, I would love to hear from you. So I'm curious, what about you? Do you ask yourself before you start a task, why are you doing it? If you are, that's really cool. That's amazing. If not, I lovingly encourage you to maybe ask yourself that this week or this month. Our time, like I said before, is such a beautiful, precious asset. And so we need to protect it and guard it a little selfishly at times. I'm not going to lie. So if you can relate, if you're asking or looking for some time management, organizational skills, that question might come in handy. Ask yourself before you do something, why am I doing blank? If it aligns with your life mission, your mission statement, great, perfect. But if it doesn't, perhaps toss it. Maybe it doesn't serve you, and maybe it doesn't serve your mission. So what I'm saying is be healthily selfish with your time, and you will see great alignment in your life. Thank you so much for listening to today's episode. I'm going to get off now and start prepping for Series 29 for next week. I'm stoked with this new vision and totally revamping the content and getting a little messy and digging even deeper with y'all. I think it's going to be a great journey, and I cannot wait to start it with you. Now that I have redone this episode a second time, I'm going to go eat now. And I'm also going to lovingly, kind of in a fun way, yell at Eric because he made me step outside my comfort zone. I didn't like it at first, but I'm really glad he did. I hope you enjoyed today's episode, and until next time. Do you find yourself wanting a space for your unique voice, ideas, and offerings to be heard? Unfortunately, in our current times, a lot of in-person opportunities have been lost. Because of this, I am encouraging you to consider digital opportunities for yourself and your business. I am offering the Podcasting Musician. Create your music podcast on a low budget to amplify your voice and offerings. In these classes, we will build your podcast from the ground up. Podcasting has been growing steadily for the last 15 years, and it continues to soar even during a pandemic. Remote classes begin on December 15th, 2020. Register today at heidikbigay.com/thepodcastingmusician. See you soon. Thank you for listening to the Flute 360 podcast. Please subscribe through your favorite podcast app, such as Amazon Music, Apple Podcast, iHeartRadio, Spotify, among others. Also, you definitely want to check out the Flute 360's newsletter. You can sign up for the weekly newsletter through my website at heidikbigay.com. Thank you for your continued support. I greatly appreciate it.
Let's talk about Flute.